Okie dokie guys, Outlaw Dolphin here, and we're going to return to Dragon Age Inquisition. We finally reached Skyhold after the Battle of Haven. Talking with Varric and meeting Hawke, we know that our next best bet is to travel to Crestwood and meet a Grey Warden named Stroud. Now, if anyone remembers when we went to the Storm Coast, we were trying to find Grey Wardens. The Grey Wardens we were trying to find were Grey Wardens who were trying to find Stroud. That's the Grey Warden they were hunting. So, begin. A hastily scrawled note received by messenger bird. Inquisitor, Hawke's warden friend is somewhere here. Disappeared before we could talk to him. He's good. Be careful on the road. Lots of undead. People here need our help. Explain once more you're here. Harding.
Good to see you safe, Inquisitor. We've got trouble ahead.
Well, I bet if you're worried.
If you're on edge, I should alert the entire Inquisition.
Or increase my hazard pay. That's an option.
Are things that bad? Oh.
Crestwood was the site of a flood 10 years ago during the Blight. It's not the only rift in the area, but after it appeared, corpses started walking out of the lake. You'll have to fight through them to get to the cave where Sir Hawke's Grey Warden friend is hiding.
Are you safe here?
Have any undead attacked the camp?
We've had a few shamblers, but most head toward the village below. Maybe someone in Crestwood can tell you how to get to the rift in the lake. Maker knows they'll want help. Good luck, and please be safe.
Here we go, guys. In dreary Crestwood, in the rain once more. And out there, out on the lake, is misery. I have a little bit of a new look to me. After becoming the Inquisitor, I have ditched with the free marches mage look. And we are going to march straight to Crestwood.
There must be a way to get to the rift in the lake.
You mean aside from wearing all your armor and wading in?
Spotted some iron up on top of the hill. Come on. Oh, jump. There we go. Oh, where's that jetpack when you need it? I'm sticking with the same staff for now, as we've yet to gather enough supplies to make new stuff for the entire group. And I've just remembered that I should have brought Vivienne and not Dorian. Dorian's still using that old ice staff that I gave him. Oh, this could be painful. Ah, Grey Warden.
Grey Wardens, thank you for your aid, Inquisitor.
Why are you here?
What are you doing in Crestwood?
The name Stroud is wanted for questioning. We heard he'd passed through here, but the villagers knew nothing. They have troubles enough.
What do you know about him?
What have you been told about this rogue warden?
Warden Commander Clarel ordered his capture. I can say no more than that. I hope Sir Stroud comes with us peacefully. I trained under him for a time. He's a good man, I'm sure of that.
Can you stay and help these people?
Will you stay to fight the undead here?
My orders forbid it. Crestwood was only a detour. If the Inquisition can help, I beg you to do what you can. The villagers have already lost too many.
Well, I'll see you around.
Farewell.
Farewell.
These wardens are also looking for Stroud.
None of those wardens mentioned a new leader. I don't think they're part of Corypheus' plot to seize the order.
Right, because they would have said.
I hope Hawke's warden friend has answers for us.
Here we're going to speak to the elven girl that they just saved.
The Grey Wardens saved me from those corpses. They're amazing. I'm going to see if they're looking for recruits.
Why join now?
You want to join the Grey Wardens now?
You're the Inquisitor. But yes, the Wardens are heroes. They saved me from those demons, your worship. With all that's happening, I'd like to help people the same way.
By joining the Grey Wardens, you can't think of something less lethal.
You actually want that? I mean, they're heroes, but fighting that stuff all the time.
Ooh, we're just going to say goodbye for now.
Farewell.
For reasons I'll explain a lot later. Crestwood, you'll find, is just... I always take the route through the rickety building. You can walk through these places, but it's a lot easier to go through here. That way you just walk into the madness straight away. Crestwood is being plagued by demons and the undead. For different reasons other than that was shown by the Thalomire. Towards that direction, the direction I'm facing now, is a town called Old Crestwood. It was a town in Dragon Age, during the time of Dragon Age Origins and the Blight. We'll find more about this story in a moment. First, let's talk to a man in here. Gold.
Why doesn't Judith live in the village while this is going on? Make her, if something happens.
Who's Judith?
Are you looking for someone named Judith?
Oh, was I speaking out loud? Judith lives outside the village. I asked her to hide here when the undead came, but she wouldn't hear it.
And why not?
Why wouldn't she hide where it's safer?
Likes her space, she says. I told Judith my house was big enough. Me and the boy could sleep in the barn if she wanted room. She turned me down.
Farewell.
Good day to you.
And to you.
After doing that, we'll get the quest called the Naturalist. I would have called it the Naturist, but there you go. To look for Judith, who lives up in the hills. And the townsfolk are also begging us to speak to the mayor. Mayor Dedrick? Or something like that?
The Inquisitor?
Yeah, Dedrick.
Mayor Dedrick of Crestwood Village. At your service, despite everything. Are you here to stop the undead?
We are, right? We're not just going to leave them.
How can I get to the Fade Rift?
The undead are appearing because of a rift in the Fade. How can I get to it?
The light in the lake. It's coming from the caves below Old Crestwood. Darkspawn flooded it 10 years ago during the Blight. Wiped out the village, killing the refugees we took in.
Well, I saw a dam. How can I drain the lake?
I saw a dam. If we use it to drain the lake, I can get to that Fade Rift.
Drain it? There must be some other way.
There's not. There's really not.
You'd have to evict the bandits in the old fort to use the dam. I can't ask you to risk your life.
Admit you need the help.
You're risking the village's safety if you spurn my help. Or is someone else coming?
But... no, they aren't. This key unlocks the gate to the dam controls past the fort. The rift must be in the caves under Old Crestwood. But, Inquisitor, I would not linger there.
Who are these bandits?
What can you tell me about the bandits camped in the fort?
The highwaymen, thugs and thieves. They make a living raiding caravans on the King's Road. When the dead rose from the lake, the bandits killed the old gamekeeper of the fort and took it for themselves. We could have saved people if we'd been able to hide there instead of in our homes.
Well, I'll deal with this swiftly.
Until later.
Of course.
So we're going to reclaim the keep, which is just up the road. There is another quest you can pick up at the top of the hill, which requires you to do some searching down in Old Crestwood after it's been cleared of the water. It's just a little bit annoying because it requires using the search scanning thing. So what you want to do is take an immediate left. As you walk up this road, it will be called the Old Market Road, hence the stall. If you take a left here, you'll find a landmark, a cave, and you'll find some useful items, as well as some iron just perched here on the wall. I will be claiming almost every single hidden cave. A wooden facade has been erected at the mouth of this cave, presumably to shield away occupants from the weather. There we go. I will be picking up any kinds of materials that I see because I sorely need them.
A village like this once hired the chargers to deal with some bandits. It was the early days. Just me and Krem and 5 others. We must have killed 50 bandits. Asshole villagers tried to pay us in rice.
Some obsidian, nice, and some supplies back here. Now this may feel like stealing, it probably is, but oh well. Mosaic, and yet more obsidian. I know Crestwood can seem a bit damp and a bit dreary. That's probably because it is, but the caves are interesting. Back when I was talking about water effects in the Fallow Mire, the water effects I find here are also yet very satisfying. The way that the water is just flowing down the walls of the caves. It's nice to see tiny little additions like that to how things work in the graphics. And we're fastly going to come across the keep that's being held by the bandits. It's just that shadow looming over. Free bunches of iron in places it's very annoying to get to. There is a way to get.
Talked about the bandits.
There is a way to get resources a little bit easier than how I do, and that's by having Josephine, using the perks from Josephine to just get merchants to bring them in. Now you do want to loot these sad splinters because there is a requisition that they can be used for. I always thought they were useless. However, in a very recent playthrough, I kind of learned that they do something. However, it may still be useless depending on how you view it. There we go. These guys do utilise Mabari hounds as well. The reason why I want to make a lot of stronger weapons now is because fights can get a bit repetitive, particularly when we get to some of the other places like Western Approach, Hissing Wastes. It's just a way of just getting through this quickly because I like to get to the factors of the story a lot quicker, particularly in some places like Halam Sharal when we go there. It's always nice to just get from point to point a little bit quicker. Now I do want to go take a right. There will be a few rogues hanging around here, so keep an eye out for anything invisible. A rogue will instantly try and go behind you. I kind of wish Iron Ball stayed down here and just dealt with him, but now I have to take a shield to the face. Go and loot these guys as you go. Here come the rogues and more warriors. Nope. There we go. Now I'll finish him off. There's lots of different ways to get around in these keeps, but best to just stick with the way that I'm going. This way you'll find any items that might be missed. You want to go through that door over there to go to where the dam is, but not just yet. You can see off in the distance that things around here are fucked. That is indeed red lyrium spiking out to the ground. You'll see them a lot clearer once we're here long enough. The storm will clear. I say long enough. It's not actually time relative, but once we do a certain thing, the time of day will change. Nope. There we go, so I'm starting to get peppered by an archer out on the side. And who we have in front of us, the Highway Chief. With the guy who's in charge of the highwaymen. Defeating him is like a mini-boss. Kind of like the Hand of Korth from the Fallow He looks like a Navarre. He probably is one. Just in charge of this group down here. And down he goes.
I think that's all of them.
Payday, yeah? Let's get some merchants in your new house.
There you go. So once you defeat all the enemies here, you can claim the keep. Doing that will increase your Inquisition's power quite formidably. There we go, and quite instantly
What's next?
we can speak to Charter.
The mayor said the dam control.
Welcome, Inquisitor. My name is Charter. Leleana's eyes and ears.
Charter is in charge of this fortification.
Once my man Butcher finds us, he's running late.
And she's telling us of a man named Butcher, who is also a scout who has gone missing. You mentioned a spy.
When's this spy named Butcher supposed to arrive?
Half hour ago, by the south gate. I hope he's only delayed. Butcher's last message swore he had secrets for us worth 10 times his weight in gold.
What's useful about this area?
Sister Nightingale tell you why she wanted agents here?
We lie on the main road between Denerim and Valroyo. Couriers stop here all the time. For what they're paid, some have surprisingly loose tongues.
Farewell.
I should be going.
Another time.
There is a merchant just behind us. This is useful, but they never really have anything interesting, but it's always worth to have a look. And there you go, you see that kind of green sparkle across my staff. Just show it off once more. I've just made myself a spirit rune. This is a rank 1 spirit rune, so this will only give me 10 plus spirit damage.
The mayor said the dam control.
It's not the best, but once we move further into the game, we will have access to more items that will allow us to cast better runes. Particularly closing rifts is the best way to get hold of rune material. There you go, so we're approaching the dam now, which is on the back end of the castle.
The dam must be where we can open the floodgates.
And down there is the old way into Old Crestwood. You see the eerie green glow across the lake. You can just imagine how big this rift must be. And just how deep as well. It's not on the surface, I guarantee you that. And here we are in the Rusted Horn. Not an abandoned pub, it seems.
What in...
Don't mind us, just passing by.
The Inquisitor? We didn't know you were here, sir. Please don't tell anyone.
How did you get in here?
How did you get past the guards?
There weren't any when we got here.
We just heard you killed the bandits, your worship. We didn't know you were moving in, we promise. You won't tell people we were here, will you?
And why the secrecy?
Why would people care what you're up to?
Lonnie's mum and dad think I'm bad for her. We'll have to wait hours to go back. My father will still be up.
I knew this was a mistake.
We could try the caves.
You hate spiders.
We'll find somewhere next time.
Aw. Looks like we interrupted a little get-together. And here we go. On to find the mechanisms of a dam within a pub. But there you go.
That sounds like it worked. Let's take a look.
It's interesting to see how that worked so well and so easily, considering how Dedrick said they were broken. There you go, and you can instantly see a rift out there, but it's not the one we're looking for.
Oh look, a dragon. What a perfect way to ruin our day.
Keep in mind, that is a storm drake. We'll be dealing with dragons at some point. I don't think I'll go for that one straight away, considering I have a lightning staff. So I'm relatively useless. Storm drakes are probably the toughest dragons to fight, considering what are the enemies up here? Oh, demons. Just considering I can't really recognise what they're kind of weak to. You know, it's easy to say that a fire drake is weary to ice and an ice dragon is weak to fire. I can't really tell what a storm drake is weak to, so I imagine it must be spirit damage. So maybe. I'm just going to show you, hopefully, yes, I think I'm going in the right direction to show at the very base of the dam you will find this longboat. This boat has clearly been here since the beginning of since near possibly the end of the Blight, as we can see that some people, maybe not Templars as the shields suggest, but somebody was up to no good and somebody was looting. You'll find an awful lot of gold here. 3 bags in total. Counting to perhaps nearly 400 to 500 gold, which is quite a lot. considering what you find on bodies to be about 20 to 30 just pieces of gold. So someone raided old Crestwood's treasury and clearly never made it. You can also find some viridium if you're lucky on parts of the shoreline, just further, if I look at the map, just further westish, northwestish along. There you go. And you can see the rifts are also causing spirits to possess undead. And just about made it. Let's close this rift and hope we get lucky. More frost essence, so we'll be making a lot of ice runes soon enough. Crystal Grace, which is a herb, which we got quite a lot from the hinterlands. There's another rage demon. Didn't reach in time. Not so often I screw that one up. There we go. So possibly stick. Yeah, I think it's here on this rock formation. Perhaps on the other side. No minerals? I don't believe you. There you are. Viridium. You'll find a lot more in the Exalted Plains and in other places across Crestwood. It's possibly the rarest mineral here. Crestwood is much more known for its obsidian, considering how obsidian is rare in the hinterlands but quite common here. And here we see the sign, Old Crestwood.
So this is Old Crestwood.
I hate muck. It stinks like... Ah, there's bones in it!
There is a quest for that wraith in there. Orange wraiths are harmless to you, unlike the green ones. It's only a small quest which will take us along the way that we're going, but then requires us to come back here to speak to that specific wraith. So it can be a little annoying. You don't have to do it. I'm going to skip it on this occasion. There you go. Plaque on the door reads, Mayor of Crestwood.
There's a plaque. This was the mayor's old home.
There you go. And in this chest we will find a scrap of paper. The ink on this damp piece of paper is faded but legible. The work you ordered is done. Do what you want. I'll be in the hills trying to forget. Robert.
A letter from Crestwood's mayor. Damp, but legible.
Trying to forget what? Someone regrets their actions. You kind of see that Old Crestwood looks a lot better, or would have looked a lot better, than New Crestwood. There you go. So the place you want to go to
Where does this lead?
are these flooded caves. And here we are, in the caves of Crestwood, which you can already see.
Find that fade rift. What's with the path? Did people used to live here?
People did used to live here. You can already see this place is forgotten, dreary. Dark, damp. This place was flooded prior to us releasing the dam. There you go, and we're just lighting the way. It's very hard to see where we're going. And here you just get a little glimpse. You'll find a few pieces of storm heart down here. If you're lucky to pick up more than one, well, at this point in the game, as storm heart is a tier 3, tier 4 metal. You find most of it in the Arbor Wilds, very late towards the end of the game. Paragon's Luster, which we will find more in the Western Approach. We'll find a lot of it in the Western Approach. There we go, there's a chest here. And once we light this cave, I mean, I wonder if you can probably almost see it, the horrors that was going on down here. The caves were the first places where people with the Blight withdrew to when they were sick. And short of turning into other Darkspawn, some of them quickly took their own lives. Not great, but there you go. Some people rather die at their own hands than die to that sickness. There you go, and here we're going further deeper still. Working our way down into what looks like an old dwarven thaig. Ooh. Just a little glimpse of just how unsteady the land is around here. Here you can see undead. They're kind of crouching and kneeling. You guys see at the moment. They're worshipping a demon. Or just inactive due to having nothing to fight against. Despair demons are vulnerable to cold, as they use ice as their main attack. They can be pretty annoying as they have a constant way of attacking using a beam. If you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, that beam can be pretty darn powerful. You can literally eat away at armor, guard, almost everything. You have to be prepared when you fight them. We'll find some powerful ones in the Western Approach, which is why I'm scavenging for almost every form of metal I can find to make the best armors for my team. I need all kinds of material, not just metal, also leather, also fabrics for me. There we go.
Dwarven ruins down here.
The whole area is still lit up. Remarkable.
There go, some more storm hearts. This is our third piece. It's not enough to really do anything, but we can use it to change the colour of our armour at least. Can we get in here? Yes, we can. Come on, move, 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 move. There we go. The Lost Outpost plaque. This roadway was created by the Royal Order of King Kelgak to link the Great Thaig of Aeducan with the Soaring Thaig of Gundar. It pleases these cities to join these roads with a hall in the middle, and to dedicate that hall to Paragon Hecat, who discovered the principles of nature that let us build structures of unheard of height and astounding breadth. Let his renown be eternal, as a stone he shaped. Inscription on a plaque found on an abandoned dwarven road beneath Crestwood. Paragons, known and lesser known, so screw that. Enhanced knockout powder ring, that's for rogues. It's not a great ability. Here we have a pretty huge rage demon. I'm gonna let this thing hit me a little bit before I fade step back out. I'm going to do that right now. And here we go, level 10. There you go, so upon reaching level 10, I'm actually going to start saving all of the skills, all of the levels that I start to take up now. As soon I will pick a specialization, which will allow me to become a Knight Enchanter. So once I keep leveling, I will have like 3 or 4 levels to put into Knight Enchanter, so that's what I'm holding out for. There's the big ass rift. We can get some supplies back here. We can also open that door there. That will take us the way out. But first I'm going to have Ball just kick the hell out of this. Or hit. Here we'll find more Paragon's Luster, more Stormheart, and I've acquired Fade Touch Stormheart, so I'll be looking forward to using that. Here we also find some treasure. So this is probably where the Paragon was buried. So they tend to be buried in quite ornate places. You find a few of them, like once we get a particular Varric quest, and once we head to the west, the Hissing Wastes, which has a Taig on the surface, which is a very odd thing to find. This rift is a bit of a bitch because it has 3 or 4 different stages, unlike most, which are just normally 2. They get progressively harder. The first one is just like wraiths, and then it will progressively become terrors, and then despair demons, and then rage demons. I don't think there's a pride demon, which is probably a good thing. There we go, stage 2. So here we have Shades. Shouldn't take us that long. Shades and Wraiths. Careful not to stand where demons tend to appear. And now we have almost everything. Shades, Terrors and Wraiths. And last but not least, Rage Demon and Terrors and Wraiths. There we go, the Rage Demon's down. I'm actually going to disrupt the rift instead of fighting the demons. There we go. And how's my loot looking? The Axe of Green Edges. This is actually a fixed loot, however anything else that comes with it.
From attacking Crestwood.
Let's tell the mayor.
I'm going to probably give that to Cassandra, save me making her something. Terra Talons, and as we walk around the outside we should find some chests lying around. There's like 3 or 4, 2 or 3. Never anything good, but all stuff you can sell. It's all helpful. Okie dokie. Guess we'll head back. Now go back the way we came. Open the door. And we read that thing about Paragon Hakat. About the hall. It's covered in some kind of yellow stone, like limestone. Stalactites that formed. It's kind of hard to understand.
How we get out of here? I feel a draft.
There we go. So the way out is through that door there. We actually have one more thing to do here. And that is to activate that. You'll remember that as Solus had us activate one in Hinterlands. There are actually a few of these dotted all over the place. One of them, there is one in Old Crestwood. I forgot about it, but oh well. It does very little. Probably just gives you some small skill. Ah, come on, get it. There we go.
Bugs seem to like it down here.
They're like rats, fish-faced rats. I hate rats and fish. Don't stare at me. You just want food. Eat dogs anyway.
There you go. So there's a lot of Paragon Luster down here. This will be a very popular metal across most of our designs. There we go, and we're reaching the surface again, and we're on our way out of the mine. And here we'll find on the other side of this door, we'll find a symbol on the wall, which can give you a rather big idea of what's been going on around here, considering once we find the lyrium deposits that are around. This symbol here. It's just simply telling us to get out, but this is about this is the bandit's sigil that is kind of all around Crestwood at this point. Will begin to occur to meet them now that we've cleared once we've cleared everything out. You can see it's daytime outside now. We're instantly going to run into another rift with an enemy that we've not encountered before. This is an arcane horror. This is a very powerful entity. Never ever underestimate an arcane horror, particularly ones you meet in the Exalted Plains. There are a lot in the Exalted Plains. They are annoying. They drop very useful items, much like Revenants, which we will meet in the Exalted Plains also later. There should be a despair demon somewhere. Pretty sure of it. I don't mind being wrong. Yeah. Obviously, as as rifts get tougher, the enemies will get tougher, and the enemies that come out of them will get tougher too. Which always makes sense. As you can see, the rain has stopped, and everything is pleasant in morning or dawn. Rain's not totally stopped. It's just like the odd drizzle. But we're instantly brought into Crestwood once more, as we've pretty much just done one big loop. So first our business is to return to the mayor, and then we will head, walking past the fort again. You see Crestwood now is under the protection of the Inquisition, and their stall has reopened. Nothing interesting, but always good to have commerce restored.
What do you mean the mayor's gone?
And instead of finding the mayor, you find a letter. Not a long one. Inquisitor, it was not the Darkspawn that opened the dam and flooded Old Crestwood 10 years ago. I did, in secret, the night they attacked. The undead who have been fighting are people I killed with my own hands. We had taken refugees in from the Blight. Many were ill. We moved the sick to the lower part of Crestwood and the refugees into the caves, to stop the disease from spreading. It didn't work. One confessed he'd seen blight sickness before. It was always fatal. When the Darkspawn attacked, I knew the only way the village would survive is if the blight sick drowned with the monsters. I cannot bear the sight of Old Crestwood now the water is gone. I cannot stay. I'm sorry. Mayor Gregory Dedrick.
A letter of confession from the mayor? It says he was the one who flooded Old Crestwood 10 years ago. To stop the blight from spreading.
He drowned them. In the muck. Oh, Mayor is having an arrow for tea.
Villagers learn about this, they're not going to be happy.
What a sad mess. Will the Inquisition bring him in?
Oh, absolutely. There we go. So we're going to perform the loop once more, and we're going to head to the fort that we initially cleared out. Just going to take a potion. Yeah, the animation for the healing potion kind of glitches out sometimes. It makes you appear like a shadow. It's not meant to do that, but it does it. It doesn't do anything else. So long as it heals me, I'm fine. If we follow the road instantly left, we will find Judith's home. Once we speak to Judith, she will tell us more about the area. You don't want to head... yeah, there's the lyrium. There are Venatori about here, so you do need to be a little bit cautious. Caer Bronach is the name of the fort that we cleared out. And here we have Gallows of Caer Bronach. The gallows by the fortress are left over from when Orlais warred with Ferelden. Let us be grateful they have not seen use in years, apart from children using the ropes as swings before the gamekeeper chases them off. While children using this as swings while dead hang from it. And there's your proof that Venatori are in the area. The fist with a snake. You see Dorian, often his tarot card will depict a snake. It's like sigils. You can think of them in real life, and it's like you can think of them in real life with heraldry and stuff like that. How say like if you talk Game of Thrones, wolves are Starks, lions are Lannisters, that sort of business. Snakes are Venatori. And here we have more bandits, highwaymen, similar to the ones that you cleared from the fort, and this rogue is really going to try and mess up my day. It's taking a long way to go about it. I did piss off an animal. Oh, I had to piss off something that gives guard, wouldn't I? Well, if we all attack it, we should all just be fine. Let's quickly find Judith, and then we will be even quicker off to find Stroud. I have to be very careful with the local wildlife, considering how one of my attacks can literally fly off in every which way direction. What are they attacking now? More? Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, they do a lot of damage to me. Oh, Jesus. No! Well, that was fairly irritable. Druffalo are most annoying. Who I always try to avoid pissing off the wildlife. Die, damn it. Ay, ay. Oh. Just been hiding there all along. Right. Naturalist. Warden. Now. Oh, 6 hide. Oh, now there's wolves in the way. Yes, I see the dragon. I'm not going to fight the dragon today. There we go. Not how I intended that to go.
What's this?
Hello, Judith.
So you're the man who saved Crestwood from the dead. Watch out for the wyvern in the hills. I'd take his hide if I were better with a bow.
I was told to check on you.
If you're Judith, there's a man in the village concerned about you.
That must be Gould, fretful as ever. I'm glad he stayed in Crestwood. He's fast as you please with a loom, but terrible with a sword.
What do you do here?
Do you farm out here?
The name's Judith. I farm and I mend things for the village and people passing through. I did a fair trade with traveling merchants before the undead started attacking. Not to mention that dragon.
You live here on purpose.
Oh, you know, the fishing's grand.
What's this about a wyvern?
There's a wyvern causing trouble?
It used to hunt in the mountains. Didn't bother anyone but the bandits. Lately, the beast got it in his head to come down here. It almost crippled Gauld's little boy. Best someone kill it. I hope I get my hands on the liver. It makes a poison that kills rats like nothing.
And tell me about the dragon.
What do you know about the dragon?
She moved in a month ago. The guards tried to run her off, but she snapped one's head off and she flew away. Poor Hamold. At least it was quick. Since then, she's eaten 3 horses, 5 goats, and 2 cats.
Cats. Okay. Probably not the worst thing it could have done. Goodbye.
Until later.
Be safe.
There goes the Dorian's just a little bit beaten up. There is perhaps one more obstacle in our way. 2, as I'm just corrected by the Fade Rift in front of me. This Fade Rift should also spawn another arcane horror, but I think that comes from the second stage. There we go. There we go. Can also do this. Mark of the Rift. Yeah, he literally, this arcane horror just wasted me. Yep, let's wake up the Inquisitor so that he can close the rift. Ow. It's a good job that they don't reopen over a time. Spirit Essence. We keep getting a lot of expensive figures to sell, and we just got our first Arcane Horror Heart. And let's just heal everybody up. Shroud is just on the other side of that rock formation. The way that we're going to go is going to take us past this dead body here. Easy to miss. Let's just go ahead and pick up this obsidian first. I'm going to examine the dead body. There we go. This stack of papers is so blood-soaked the pages stick together. Only a few lines are still legible. After knowing who he truly serves, it was easy to discover his compatriots. I lifted a list of their spies from one before I left. We have little time before the theft is discovered, so advise we make move post-haste. I was followed, but do not fear. I lost my Perfuras in Leeds. Only our closest fiends know my final destination. Only my closest friends know my destination. Butcher.
Reinforcements.
There we go, and we're just literally just going to...
You can tell they're not right.
Here, Red Templars. Just keep luring them, they're going to keep following me. And there we also see a Druffalo fighting a wolf, so we need to be careful of that. Please tell me... Oh. Well, at least they're fighting each other, because that Druffalo is going to now smash us. I'm doing a terrible job at not annoying the wildlife. There we go. About damned time. More Truffalo hide. Nice. The cave we're looking for is just here, and you will find Hawke outside.
Warden pal should be inside that cave.
Glad you made it. I just got here myself. My contact with the wardens should be at the back of the cave.
He nearly got caught.
He's not the only warden around here. It's a good thing his friends didn't find him in Crestwood.
Yes, I saw them earlier. They've been told he's a traitor in order to capture or kill him. How much blood is shed by good men following bad orders?
Okie dokie. Here we find yet more obsidian, always nice. And once again you see the skull with the red line. And we examine it. Banner of the Blind Men. This banner marks this cave as an outpost of the Blind Men, notorious smugglers who are known to sell slaves to Tevinter. It is possible that the Grey Warden asked them politely to leave so that he could use their hideout, although the bloodstains on the wall suggest otherwise.
It's just us. I brought the Inquisitor.
My name is Stroud, and I'm at your service, Inquisitor.
I want information.
I need to know why the wardens disappeared. Could it have something to do with Corypheus?
I fear it is so. When my friend Hawke slew Corypheus, Weishaupt was happy to put the matter to rest. But an archdemon can survive wounds that seem fatal, and I feared Corypheus might possess the same power. My investigation uncovered clues, but no proof. Then, not long after, every warden in Orlais began to hear the calling.
Maker, why didn't you tell me?
It was a Grey Warden matter. I was bound by an oath of secrecy.
And the calling controls them?
You think Corypheus is using this calling to control the Grey Wardens?
Not precisely, Your Worship. The calling warns a Grey Warden that his time in this world grows short.
And every Grey Warden in Orlais is hearing that right now. They think they're dying.
Yes. Likely because of Corypheus. If the Wardens fall, who will stand against the next blight? Is our greatest fear.
So Corypheus isn't controlling them. He's bluffing them with this calling. And they're falling for it.
Are you affected?
You said all the wardens are hearing the calling. Does that include you?
Sadly, yes. It lurks like a wolf in the shadows around a campfire. The creature that makes this music has never known the love of the maker, but at times, I almost understand it. We must uncover what Corypheus has done and end it. This cannot stand.
So the wardens are foolish.
We need the wardens' help. This is the worst possible time for such lunacy.
We are the only ones who can slay archdemons. Without us, the next blight will consume the world. Warden Commander Clarel spoke of the blood magic ritual to prevent future blights before we all perished. When I protested the plan as madness, my own comrades turned on me. Grey Wardens are gathering here, in the western approach. It is an ancient Tevinter ritual tower. Meet me there, and we will find answers.
There we go. So now we're all going to go our own separate ways. All for our own safety, of course. Oh, I missed obsidian.
I heard what he said. Hopefully we'll find some answers in the western approach. Though I fear what those answers will be. I've seen too much blood magic to ever trust where it leads.
It's true. Hawke has seen so much go so wrong so often. Okie dokie guys, that's the end of that Dragon Age Inquisition. So we've just done perhaps 4/5 of Crestwood for now. What's remaining is to uncover the Venatori camp in the hills of Crestwood, and then to also deal with the Wyvern in the caves, and then give whichever items from the Wyvern's corpse that Judith would like. Once we've done that, we will head back to Skyhold, gather some more dialogue, and then head to the western approach so that we can uncover more, and then that will lead us to Adamant Fortress. So there we go guys, that's the end of that one, and I will see you in the next one.